There are two types of computer network architecture. One is peer-to-peer computer network architecture and another one is client-server architecture. Star topology. All the connections are made by using twisted pair cable, coaxial cable or opticals, that is fiber opticals. So hybrid topology is nothing but the combination of two or more other topology. Hello friends, a warm welcome to my new session on Introduction to Computer Network. I am your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, let me discuss the topic which I have covered in my last session. In my last session, I started with computer network architecture. So what is computer network architecture? That is nothing but it is a component related to computer network, in the sense what are the hardware component we are going to use, what are the softwares we are going to have, what are the protocols, what is the data transmission media we are going to use. All those things we are going to discuss or we are going to select in computer network architecture. There are two types of computer network architecture. One is peer-to-peer computer network architecture and another one is client-server architecture. Along with that, we have discussed computer network types. There are three types of computer network. One is LAN, that is local area network, then metropolitan area network, that is MAN, and WAN, that is wide area network. Now, in my today's session, I'm going to deal with topology. So, what is topology? What is the need of topology and why we require topology? So, dear student, let's start. What is topology? In simple words, it is nothing but the arrangement of computers, in the sense how I'm going to arrange all the computers together. So here topology defines the structure of the network. So it represents the structure of the network, in the sense how the computers are connected each other or how the nodes are related each other or arranged each other. So topology defines the structure of the network and how all the components are interconnected each other. So it's nothing but the geographical representation of computer system, in the sense how all the devices or nodes are interconnected each other. For example, think that I have four systems. How many systems? Four systems. And if I connect all the system through one single line, then it is called bus topology. Now, if I connect same four system in ring fashion, then it is called ring topology. So what it is? It is just a arrangement of computer system. For example, in a room or in a building, how I'm going to arrange the computer system. So the structure of computer as well as how the components are interrelated together, known as topology. And if I consider computer network topology, we have total 6 different types of topology. That is bus topology, ring topology, mesh topology, star topology, tree topology, as well as hybrid topology. So what is topology here? It's the way to arrange or connect the partner of computers. So here computer is nothing but the desktop computer or laptop, and computer itself known as nodes as well as devices. and it is called topology. So arrangement of all the computer system is known as network topology. Now let me to discuss what is bus topology. As the name itself indicates that all the devices are connected linear. In the sense what? It looks like a bus. So bus topology is a type of topology, and this is the simple and most commonly used topology. Bus topology is a type of network topology in which each computer and network devices are joined in a single cable. So this is the single cable and all the systems are connected linear. So this cable is known as backbone cable, and the connection from main cable to devices are known as drop box. When it consists of exactly two endpoints, when it includes exactly two endpoints, then it is called linear bus topology. So this cable is known as backbone or linear cable or linear bus topology. So if I consider the features of bus topology, here all the data are sent in only one direction. In the sense, see here, this is the example for bus topology, and all the data are sent in only one direction, and it is known as bus topology. So all the data are transferred in only one direction, and each and every device is linked to a single line. Here each and every device is linked to a single cable, and that cable itself known as backbone. So here cable may be twisted pair cable or coaxial cable. Now let's see the advantages of bus topology. It is cost effective. To establish bus connection, it does not waste much money, because with minimum hardware, with minimum software, and with minimum wires, I can able to make bus topology. So it is cost effective. The cable requirement is very minimal as compared to other topology. To make bus topology, I required very minimum cable, and it is useful for small network. In the sense, it's mainly used by the local area network, and it is very easy to understand, and it is easy to expand. So expand in the sense what? If I want to add any new system, or if I want to remove any new system, that is very easy. So these are the advantages of bus topology. Now let me to discuss the disadvantages of bus topology. So dear student, all the systems are going to depend on the cable, that is central single cable, and if the cable get failed, then the entire network is get failed. The whole network fails if cable fails, and the performance of the network is going to decrease when we send much data, because the cable capacity is used by all the system. So when we send more data, the performance of the bus topology is going to decrease. The performance of the network decreases in the case network traffic is heavy, or node are more, or the cable has limited length. So all the data are going to travel through only one single line. So if the traffic is high, obviously the capacity of the network is going to decrease. These are the disadvantage of bus topology. To overcome these disadvantage, we have ring topology. So as the name itself indicates that all the devices are connected in round shape. So it is known as ring topology. If I consider this example, all the devices are connected like a ring. So if this is my first node and this is my last, that is the nth node, and I want to connect my last node to first node, and all the data are going to travel in only one direction. So it is unidirection. So all the data are going to travel in only one direction. For example, from system 1, I want to send the data to system n, then system 1 want to send the data to 2, from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and nth device. So this is the way the ring topology is going to work. Now, as the name itself indicates that it is ring, because it creates a ring as each computer is linked to the neighboring computer. See here, all the devices are linked to the neighboring computers. For that reason, it is called ring topology. With the last one linked to the first node. See here, if n is my last node, that must be linked to the first node. Now, let me to discuss the features of ring topology. So, what is the first feature here? All the data are going to travel in only one direction. And if I want to send and receive the data parallelly, then I must have two connection. In the sense, I must have dual ring, so that in one ring I can able to send the data, and in another ring I can able to receive the data. So here, dual ring topology, two ring network is created. So in dual ring topology, we are going to create two rings and data flow in the opposite direction. So one is for sending and another one is for receiving. So in both the rings, data flows in opposite direction. Hence, if the ring in one direction fails, the second ring can work as a backup. If any one of the ring get failed, then second ring is going to work or act like a backbone, and the data is transmitted in a sequential manner. So here I am going to send the data to one system to another system. So all the data are transferred in the form of sequential manner. So data transmitted has to go through each node linked in the network till the final node. See here, if I consider this diagram, suppose if I want to send the data to nth node, this is the, from this node I want to send the data to nth node, and when I send the data is going to flow sequentially from this system to this system, and from this system to this system, and from this system to this system, and from this system to this system. So the data travels in sequential manner. Now let me to consider the advantages of ring topology. Transmitting network is not affected by huge traffic. So dear student, here we can have single ring or dual ring. So the transmitting network is not affected by the huge traffic or by additional of more nodes, and low cost to install and expand. In the sense, to install or to create ring topology, I required minimum cost, and adding or removing devices from the ring topology is very easy. So expanding nodes are very easy in ring topology. Now, what is the disadvantage I have? That is, troubleshooting is not simple in ring topology. So, dear student, in ring topology, it is very difficult to identify the fault. So, that is known as troubleshooting. And the addition or removal of one computer interferes with the other node and other activity. So, dear student, in ring topology, all the devices are connected to the neighboring nodes, and when I remove or add any nodes, then that is going to affect to other nodes as well as network activity. And the crashing of one node affect the whole network. In the sense, if I have only one single ring, then the breakage of ring topology is going to affect whole network, and initial installation cost is high. In the sense, at the beginning, when I am going to set up the ring topology, the cost required is maximum. So, initial installation cost is high, therefore not applied at low density traffic. Now, I have third type of topology, that is star topology. So, as the name itself indicates that all the devices are connected like a star, and we have one central hub or central device, and that is known as hub, and all the data must be travel between central node. So, in star topology, all the nodes are linked to a common hub via a cable. So, in star topology, all the nodes are connected through common device, and that is known as hub, and it is connected via the cable. This hub is the central node. So, this hub is the central number, and all the other nodes are linked to the central node. So, here this hub is going to act like a central node. And unlike mesh topology, star topology does not permit straightforward communication. So, dear student, if any device want to communicate with other device, then all the communication must happen through the central node or central device, and that is known as hub. And if I consider mesh topology, how the data transmission, that is straightforward, but here whatever the data we are going to transfer, that must be go through the hub. Now, let me to consider the diagram here. See here, this is the example for star topology. And I have total 6 systems, and all 6 systems are connected via the hub. So, this is central node or central device. And think that this is my sender and this is my receiver. Now, sender want to send some data to receiver. How the data transmission take place? That is, when sender sends any data, that must go through hub. From the hub, it is going to reach to receiver. So, whatever the data I am going to send, that must be travel through the hub. So, here if a device requires sending data to another device, in the sense if one device want to send data to another device, then it has to first transfer the data to the hub. So it has to transfer the data to the hub, then the hub forwards the data to the selected destination or destination device. Now let me to discuss the features of star topology. So each node has its unique connection to the hub. In star topology, each node has its unique connection to the hub, and hub works as a repeater for the data transmission. So it's a central node and it is responsible for forwarding the data to the destination system and can be utilized with twisted pair, optical fiber and coaxial. So in star topology, all the connections are made by using twisted pair cable, coaxial cable or opticals, that is fiber opticals. Now let me to discuss the advantages of star topology. Speedy performance with less number of nodes and low network traffic. By using star topology, we can able to connect minimum number of systems. When I have minimum number of system, it increases the speed of the performance as well as it will have very low network traffic, and hub can easily upgrade without hassles, simpler to troubleshoot. In the sense, in star topology, it's very easy to troubleshoot. And another advantage, if there is a failure in one node, then it does not affect whole network. So there is no connection to the neighboring nodes. So failure of one node, that does not affect to other nodes in the network. Then what is the disadvantage? That is expensive to install. It is very expensive, in the sense what? It is costly and expensive in usage. Along with that, if the central hub get failed or crashed, then the entire network is stopped, because here hub is a central point or heart of the network. If the heart is going to get failed, then the entire network is going to fail. So these are the disadvantages of star topology. Now I have mesh topology. So mesh topology, each device is correlated to each other. So dear student, there must be a more than two connection in mesh topology. So each device is correlated to every other devices on the network by a dedicated point-to-point connection. So dedicated point-to-point connection in the sense what? See, I have three computers. Okay, there must be a dedicated line between all the points. See here, if I consider this device or node, I have two connections. If I consider this one, two connections. This one, two connections. So mesh consists of n into n minus 1 divided by two physical channels to link n number of devices. So dear student, see here, from each device I have two lines or two connection, and here n is nothing but the number of nodes and how many cables I require to connect this network. I required n into n minus 1 divided by 2. This is the formula. So for the same n device, so here n is nothing but the nodes in the network. Each device contains, see, I have three computer or devices, and n minus 1 represents the connection. And if I consider this device, how many connections? 2 connections. And how many devices I have? 3. From each device, 2 connections I have. So, for the same n device in the network, each device contains n minus 1 input and n minus 1 output port. Now, let me to discuss the type of mesh topology. There are 2 types of mesh topology: partial mesh topology and full mesh topology. So, what is partial mesh topology? In the partial mesh topology, few of the systems are linked similar to mesh topology, but few nodes are linked to 2 or more devices. So, in partial mesh topology, as the name itself indicates, that only few of the systems are fully connected and few systems are connected to 2 or 3 devices. And what about full mesh topology? Every node or devices is linked to each other. So, every devices are linked to each other. If I have n device, then from each device I must have n minus 1 connection. So, dear student, if I consider this example, this is the example for mesh topology, and I have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many systems I have? 7 systems. So, device is nothing but n. Here n stands for device. If I consider the wires 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And if I consider this one 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and 5. So, it is n minus 1 connection. From each device, I must have n minus 1 connection. And see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, how many devices? 7. 7 minus 1. It is 6 connections. From each device, I must have 6 connections. Now, let me to discuss the features here. It is fully lined. Fully lined in the sense what? We have more than n lines, and I can able to make use of n lines to transmit the data. So, it is fully lined and it is robust. How it is robust? In the sense, if any one of the line get failed, but still the performance of the network remains as it is. So, it is robust and it is not flexible. We have too many connections, and to manage all the connections it is very difficult. So, it is not flexible. At the beginning, let me to consider advantage here. Each connection may carry its own data load. For example, if I have n device and from each device I have n minus 1 cable connection, and each device is capable to have n minus 1 unique data loads, and it is robust, fault can be diagnosed easily. Here, faults are very easily rectified and facilitates security and privacy. It provides security for the data and privacy of the data. Then what is the disadvantage? Installation and configuration is not so simple because we have plenty of wires, and to connect each wires, managing each wires is very difficult. So, installation and configuration is so difficult. Cabling cost is higher because we required much cables. Because from each device, I am going to have n minus 1 connection. If I have n device, then I must have n minus 1 connection. To establish n minus 1 connection, I must require long cable or huge cable. So I require long cable or huge cable capacity. Now I have tree topology. In tree topology, I'm going to have the root node. From each root node, I can have parent node. From parent node, I can have the child node. For example, think that this is the root node. From this node, I can have two more nodes, and I'm going to treat this one as parent node, and from each parent node I can have n number of child nodes. So here this is the example for tree topology, and it looked like a tree, and all the computers are nothing but the nodes, and all the computers are connected each other via the hub, and we have one central cable, that is backbone cable. This cable is example for your bus topology. Okay, I have the bus topology. Along with that, I can have any other topology. So it has a root node, and all the nodes are linked to create a hierarchy. See here, all the nodes are linked to each other to create the hierarchy. For that reason, it is called hierarchical topology, and it must have minimum of 3 levels. Suppose if I want to make tree topology, then I must have 3 levels. So this is my level 1, this is my level 2, and this is my level 3. So how many levels I have? Total 3 levels. Now let me to discuss the features of tree topology. Ideal if workstations are situated in groups. So here all the workstations are placed in the form of groups. So all the devices are connected via the groups, and it is useful for wide area network. In the sense, suppose if I want to make a connection across the globe, then I can have tree topology. Then what is the advantage? It is extension of bus topology and star topology. So dear student, we can make tree topology by using bus topology and star topology, and it is very easy to expand nodes. So we are going to connect the nodes very easily, and easy to manage and easy to maintain, and it is very easy to identify the faults. There is nothing but the error detection. So these are the some of the advantages of tree topology. Now let me to discuss the disadvantages of tree topology. To make a tree topology, I must have heavy cable. I must have heavily cabled. So it is heavily cabled. For the cable, I required more money, so it is costly. If additional nodes are introduced, in the sense, if we are going to expand the tree topology, then maintenance is very difficult. If the central hub fails, because in tree we have bus topology and star topology. In star topology we have central device, that is called node, and if the node fails, then the entire network fails. These are the disadvantages of tree topology. Now I have last type of network topology, that is hybrid topology. So what is hybrid topology? It is a topology which is formed by using different kinds of topology. So hybrid topology is nothing but the combination of two or more other topology. It is a two different kinds of topology. In the sense, to make hybrid topology, either I'm going to use star topology and ring topology together, or I'm going to use mesh topology and tree topology together. So what is hybrid? As the name itself indicates that it is a combination of two different topology. For example, see here, if in an office, in some department, for example, think our college, we have admin section, we have internet lab. In internet lab, all the systems are connected through the ring topology, and in admin, all the systems are connected through the ring topology. So one is star and one is ring. And this kind of network topology is known as hybrid. It is a combination of two or more different topology. So some department in ring topology is used and another department is going to use star topology, and connecting these topology will form the hybrid topology. When I have ring and I have star topology, and when I connect these two topology together, then it forms hybrid topology. And this is the example for hybrid topology. See here, this is my bus topology, and if I consider this one, see, I have the central node, and this is the example for star topology. And see, this is the example for ring topology. So how many topology I have? Ring, star and bus. And I'm going to connect all this topology together, and that is known as hybrid topology. Let's see the features here. It is an encapsulation of two or more topology. So it is encapsulation of two or more topology and inherits the benefits and disadvantages of the topology. When I combine all the topology together, it's going to inherit the features of all the topology. In the sense, it's going to inherit all the advantages of the topology as well as disadvantages of the topology. Now, I'm going to have the disadvantage. So, what is my first disadvantage? It is reliable. In the sense what? It's very easy to identify the error and clear the error. And it is so effective, scalable, as size can be increased easily, and it is flexible. Now, I have the disadvantage, that is complex in design. In the sense, to design hybrid topology is very difficult, because here we are going to combine two or more topology together to form the hybrid topology. So, complex in design and it is very costly. So, these are the some of the disadvantages of hybrid topology. Anyway, dear student, in my today's session, I started with what is topology. Along with that, I have discussed the type of topology. So, what are the type of topology? We have discussed that is star topology, bus topology, mesh topology, ring topology, tree topology and hybrid topology. Anyway, dear student, in my next session, I am going to deal with OSI reference model. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.